So, you live in Topeka, and you're trying to find a dog trainer? Well, you've come to the right place. This is a super practical guide to help you find the absolute perfect match for you and your dog.
Here's what we're going to walk through. We'll start with why training in Topeka is unique, then figure out what your dog actually needs. After that, we'll get into how to check out a professional trainer, talk about costs and what to ask, and wrap up with some local rules and resources.
First up, why does it matter if your trainer knows the local scene? Well, because good training isn't just about sit and stay in your living room. It's about getting your dog ready for real-life situations you'll face together, right here in town.
I mean, think about it. You want your dog to be cool and calm during a walk at Gage Park, right? Or to just chill out with you at Lake Shawnee. And what about a focused stroll on the Shunga Trail without getting distracted by every jogger? A trainer who knows these places can build a plan that actually works in your world.
So, that leads right into our next point. You've got to define what your dog really needs. Before you even start searching for a trainer, you need to be clear on what you're trying to accomplish.
So, what's the big goal here? Is there a specific behavior you're trying to fix, like maybe your dog pulls on the leash like crazy? Or is it something that only happens at home? Getting a handle on the problem is always the first step.
You know, trainers can help with a whole bunch of different things. You might see your dog's issue right here on this list. Could be anything from basic obedience to more complex stuff like reactivity. Knowing what a trainer focuses on is a huge part of finding the right fit. Then you've got the format to think about. Group classes, they're fantastic for practicing focus when other dogs and people are around. But private lessons at home, those are perfect for tackling things that happen right at your front door or for practicing skills on your own block.
Okay, so you know what you need help with. Now, how do you find the right person for the job? Let's get into how you can properly vet a trainer to make sure their approach and their experience are exactly what you're looking for.
Honestly, the most important thing to look for is a trainer who uses positive reinforcement. It's a reward-based method that builds trust and gets real, lasting results, all without using fear or intimidation. It's just a more effective, safer, and, frankly, happier way to train.
A really quick way to see if a trainer knows their stuff is to check for certifications. It just shows they've put in the work to get educated and have been approved by a professional group.
So what do all those letters after a trainer's name actually mean? Well, for general skills and obedience, you'll probably see something like CPDTK or KPACTP. But if you're dealing with more serious issues like fear or aggression, you'll want to look for certifications like IABC-CBDC or CBCC-KA. That tells you they have some specialized skills.
All right, let's get down to the practical side of things. Once you've got a short list of trainers you like, it's time to talk about the budget and ask some really important questions before you make that final decision.
So let's talk about the investment. Here's a ballpark of what dog training costs in Topeka for 2025. As you can probably guess, group classes are usually the most budget-friendly choice, while those private in-home packages are going to be a bit more of an investment.
And before you commit to anything, please make sure you ask these 5 key questions. You absolutely want to confirm their training methods, double-check their credentials, and find out exactly how they're going to tailor the training for your dog. And of course, you need to know how you'll track progress and what the bottom line is on cost. Last but not least, let's talk about actually putting all this training into practice. The work doesn't just stop when the trainer leaves. To make it all stick, you have to practice out in the real world, and that means knowing the local rules and where to go. Okay, here's a really simple but important rule for every dog owner in Topeka. Unless you're in a designated off-leash park, your dog has to be on a leash in public spaces. The standard is a 6-foot leash, so make sure you've got one. You know, good training is also just about being a good neighbor. Here in Topeka, excessive barking is actually considered a nuisance under the city code. A trainer can totally help you get that under control so everyone stays happy.
So where can you go to practice? Topeka has some awesome spots. The dog parks at Gage Park and Lake Shawnee, perfect for working on things like recall in a safe, fenced area. The Shunga Trail is fantastic for practicing leash skills with lots of distractions. And hey, if you're up for a real challenge, try a pet-friendly event at the Kansas Expo Center to work on staying calm around crowds. Look, finding the right trainer is definitely an investment, but the payoff is just huge. A well-behaved dog is a happy dog that gets to enjoy everything Topeka has to offer with you, from walks downtown to just relaxing at home with your family and friends. We really hope you and your dog have the best time on your training journey.